Hey, gun people. This I was looking for the other Napa shooting, and I end up finding this one. And this has some pretty good critique training opportunities. So Napa released this video, which they did a pretty good job, other than plastering a chief's name in here. Like, who gives I don't care who the chief is. But anyway, so Napa Police does this case. Their case number is here for people that don't understand how case numbers are given out for non-cop types. This is a 2018 case number and it's 005161. And that means in 2018, when this case number was pulled, Napa had issued 5,161 case numbers. And it goes up each time. So the next officer that pulled the next case, he'd be like, okay, I need a case number. And dispatch would go, your case number is 18005162. And that's how case numbers are handled. That's just a little briefing for those that don't. All right, let's take a look at this video here. And I've got it in time and a half, so if it looks faster.
Emergency.
Okay, so I've got it in a little quick time here. I might have to slow it down because they're talking. I'll do 1.5, so they're talking a little bit quicker.
His name is David Molina.
Hold on 1 second. You're at Kentwood Apartments 551 or 550 River Glen?
551.
Okay, when I first listened to this, I was like, man, this dude calling us in is freaking horrible. He's not clear. He takes really long time to talk. He's not giving out good locations. To give you a quick briefing, because it's going to be playing kind of fast, it's his girlfriend. A guy pushed his girlfriend into him, knocked him down, pulled up a shirt, and he had a gun in his waistband. And so now they're calling it in, and this guy's like, I want to go beat him up. I'm really upset. And he's trying to talk to her, and he's trying to call it in, and she knows where she's at. He doesn't. So I was kind of like dogging this dude, like, dude, spit out where you're at. Get the information out. Dispatch does a really good job at trying to get good detailed information on this.
550.
550 River Glen. What apartment are you guys in?
We were not in front of her apartment. We weren't.
Where did this happen at?
It happened on the corner of Saw School and River Glen.
Saw School and River Glen. Okay, are you guys in the apartment now?
We are walking down River Glen. Yes.
Okay, where is he? Is he still there?
He went around the corner towards Saw School, but he has a gun in his waist.
Okay, did he take it out at any time?
No, but he showed it.
Okay, so see, this guy doesn't understand how he's calling this in, and she's trying to prod and she has to do things on priority, and she's trying to get certain things on to give officers information, and she does a pretty good job. From the guy calling it in's point, he's like, damn, just get me a freaking cop. I don't need to answer all these questions. The dude's out here with a gun. He just threatened me and my girlfriend. So he's getting irritated, I think, with dispatch because she's acting like, oh, well, did he do this and where are you? So she's trying to remain calm. She's typing. And for those that don't understand it, when she's typing, that's going out either to another dispatcher who's putting this out on audio, or it's going to the officer so he can see it. But she's just updating the call log as she's talking to him, getting more information. So it could be that an officer is already dispatched. Maybe not. But I'm thinking, in most agencies I worked at, another dispatcher would already be dispatching. We have a man with a gun call at so-and-so, more information coming, units respond, blah, blah, blah. So we would start rolling that way. And then while we're there, while she's getting this other info, as she's typing, the other dispatcher would go, update, he's armed with a revolver, update, his description is. I think we should have got a description of the guy a little bit quicker. If you're calling this in, get the facts out, okay? There's a 6-foot male, he's wearing a hat, he's got a plaid shirt on, he pulled a freaking gun, it looked big, it's in his waistband, me and my girlfriend are squared, here's where we're at, we need the cops here. Now, I realize most people don't understand that, but that's what the dispatch is trying to work out on this guy, but it's kind of frustrating. I slowed it down because I want you to hear how long and frustrating it is for the guy and the dispatcher trying to get information.
Okay, so he did show, he said he had it?
Yeah.
Okay, but did you see it?
It's a revolver.
Okay, you saw it though?
Yes.
Okay. Did he show it to you?
Yes, I saw the handle of it.
Okay.
So see, he's not being clear on what happened. He's making her ask. Instead of saying, look, he pushed my girlfriend into me, knocked me to the ground, he grabbed his shirt, he lifted it up and said, I'll shoot your ass, and he pointed to the gun. That would be a clear one-sentence thing where she wouldn't have to ask all these questions. But Rick, he doesn't know that, and you're being hard on him. I'm not being hard on him. I'm telling you so you see both sides from why dispatcher is trying to prod these questions out and how he could have made this a lot shorter call. Get information out that's important. It's important that he has a gun, that he put hands on you, that he threatened you, and what he looks like, where you're at. Those are things that are important that can help you. If this guy walks around a corner and shoots you right now, they don't have information they need to come help you. So get that shit out.
So he like lifted up his shirt and showed you, or did he take it out, or what?
Yes.
Okay.
He lifted up his shirt. And my girlfriend's literally scared right now. I'm holding myself back from going after him.
What's his
To
name?
be honest with you.
What'd you say his name was?
David Molina.
Okay. To me, when a guy knows the name of a guy that suddenly walked up, pushed you, and pulled a gun, I'm thinking from cop, and the dispatcher's probably thinking, is this domestic violence? Is this an old girlfriend? Is this guy sleeping with this guy's girlfriend? What's going on? But when we get a name, the first thing we want to do is run this dude, see if he has a violent history, drug history, does he have AIDS, have we contacted him before, etc. If it's a common name in most cities, smaller cities, where you have these common criminals, everybody knows who the thugs are. And as soon as you hear a guy's name, you'll hear 4 or 5 other officers pop up. Hey, man, I was in a foot pursuit with him last week. Hey, you know what? I need to talk to that dude because he's a suspect in one of my burglaries. I'm going to come with you on this call. Or, so the names begin to mean something. So, and again, I think now they don't audio a lot of stuff, so cops don't have it. They send it straight to their computer, which kind of takes away what I call that group knowledge or that history, that group history. When things come over the radio, every officer hears everything, and every officer may have had contact, may have information on this guy, may want this guy, may know something about, may know the girlfriend, may know where this guy hides, may have chased this guy home and knows where his mommy lives because they always run home to mommy. So getting things over the radio, I thought was a good thing. In this day and age now, it's all about keeping the radio clear and using, CAD, computer-aided dispatch, whatever.
Okay. And where is he now? Which way did he walk off?
He walked towards Saskville. He's probably on Saskville going towards Walmart.
Okay. All right. And what does he look like? White, black, Hispanic, Asian?
He's Hispanic. He's really skinny. He's on a long skateboard.
Okay, so he's really skinny and he's on a skateboard. In a minute, he's going to come back with he's 6'3". That means he's a pretty big dude. I mean, that would have probably been easier to find him on a skateboard. There's not many 6-foot dudes on a skateboard. But again, when you're talking to the cops, you want to make their job easy to find a guy. You don't want to, play 20 questions. Well, what color hair did he have? Well, it was black hair. Well, how long was it? It was pretty long. Well, was it over his ears? Was it down his... give descriptions so when cops are coming, we can drive up and go, that's the dude that we just got a description of. He's got a plaid shirt. He's 6'3". He's got long hair. He's carrying a skateboard. That's our guy. Make it easy.
Okay, what's he wearing?
A black hoodie and dark blue jeans.
Black hoodie. Why they got to pick on the hoodie?
All right, and then, hold on one second. Okay, do you know how old he is or what his date of birth is?
I honestly don't really know the guy.
So you know his name, but you don't know him. See, we're getting conflicting information here, and this is causing... This would cause most people to start thinking in their mind, some lag time, how do you know his name if you don't know him? How are you connected? What, did you stop and ID him? Is his name written on his freaking underwear and you saw it hanging out his pants? What?
Hey, my girlfriend's literally scared shitless right now.
Maybe she's scared because that's her boyfriend and this is the first time he saw you two together. I mean, you don't know what's going on because the information is just, and that's what dispatch is trying to do. But remember, it's all recorded. This is all going to be played in court later if somebody gets killed or died. And then you're going to have to make sure that what you said there is either correct or change your story. So this is gathering, this is a big evidence gathering when you call dispatch, because you can't claim the Fifth Amendment that on anything when you call dispatch, because you've contacted government voluntarily and you can hang up the phone voluntarily. So anything you say is considered voluntary and you get no Fifth Amendment protections of self-incrimination. You only get that when there's custody and interrogation.
All right, and do you know about how tall he is?
He's about 3.
About how tall?
6'3".
Okay. Okay, where are you guys now?
We are on River.
It's funny, he keeps asking the girl all the information. She's got all the answers, but she's not on the phone. Well, Rick, maybe she's scared and maybe, all right, whatever. I'm just pointing it out.
You're
Right
still
in between the two right down the street from where it happened.
You notice how he's having a problem even collecting his thoughts on where he's at? It's because he's nervous. He went into fight or flight. Some dude just knocked him down, hit his girlfriend. He's upset. He's on the phone. He's trying to remain calm. He doesn't know if this guy's going to come back. And his mind is going 1,000 miles. So that's going to create that lag time I talk about when you are using use of force, cops, combat, civilians, anytime when you start having to make decisions, but your thought process is distracted because you got all these other things that you're trying to prioritize. That's why he's kind of giving this sluggish, seems like he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He's kind of frustrating me. I'm like, dude, pull your head out. Answer my freaking questions.
Okay, but are you guys on the premise of Kentwood Apartments?
Yes.
Okay. We do have an officer that's going to be coming in the area to contact you guys. Okay, if you see him, I just want you to let me know so you can flag him down, okay?
Okay.
What's your name?
Matt.
And your last name, Matt?
Proctor, as in Procter & Gamble.
This guy's been asked how to spell Proctor a few times, so he's conditioned. That was a conditioned response, like Procter & Gamble. He probably says that anytime somebody asks his last name. I mean, that's not something that most people would start telling dispatch, but he just said it because it was muscle memory, mind memory.
Okay, and what's your girlfriend's name?
What the hell was that long? You don't know your girlfriend's name? Why can't he answer a simple question like that? Well, because, I mean, I don't know why. It just seems kind of odd.
Her name is Jessica.
Okay. What's her last name?
Davis.
Okay. And does she live at Kentwood Apartments?
Yes.
Wait.
Pause.
All right. What apartment does she live in?
We are not at her.
Okay. There's all kind of things that are like, what the hell's this guy? I didn't ask. I already know you're not at the apartment. You told me where you were at. I asked you what apartment she lives in, and you're saying we're not at the apartment. So why does he not want to tell the apartment? Does he not know? It's just an odd. This guy is odd to me on the call.
Apartment.
Okay, that's fine. Do you not want to give me her apartment number?
I hear the siren.
Okay, that's fine. What did he do exactly? You said he put hands on your girlfriend.
Okay, the dispatch kind of figures out, look, I'm going to lose this guy. He's getting frustrated. He doesn't want to give me the apartment. I don't know why he doesn't want to give it. So she goes to a different topic and tries to get more information about the suspect. Did a good job there, kind of deflecting, saying, I don't know what the hell your problem is, dude. I just asked for a freaking apartment number. You can't say apartment 2D or 234. What the hell is the problem with that? Say, she can't do that because she's on a recorded line in there. If I was a cop saying like, dude, what the hell is your problem? I asked you what apartment. If you don't want to tell me, say I ain't telling you. What's this pausing in his long, this breathing? Is he trying to calm himself? Is he upset? Is he fearful? Is he coming out of fight or flight? I don't know. I'm just pointing out these are odd things.
Fun, but what kind? Like, did he hit her?
He put hands on her, telling her to get out of his way.
So he was pushing. He was pushing her.
We were just.
I just need to know what you mean by put hands. So he was pushing her. He shoved her. He hit her.
He pushed her out of the way, nearly knocking me down.
Okay.
Pushed her out of his way, knocking him down. Why was she in his way? I mean, she doesn't want to ask this now, but as a cop, when I get there, what do you mean push her out of the way? Why was he in her way? What, were y'all sharing a sidewalk? Were they talking? Were they arguing before this happened? What the hell's going on? Dispatch isn't getting that detailed into it, but in the guy, I mean, why didn't he say, this dude knocked my girlfriend into me and knocked me to the ground. He's a big dude and he has a gun in his waistband. I mean, that could have got out like within the first 10 seconds of this call. And this dispatch has had to pry this information out of this guy over the last 10 minutes.
I'm not small.
Okay. So he pushed her into you and it almost knocked you down?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and have them contact you as soon as we can, okay? Are you guys going to stay where you're at? You guys are in between the two buildings of the apartment complex?
Yeah, we're kind of by the off.
Okay, got it.
I would have got more information. I think dispatch could have got a little bit more information. What preceded this? What's your connection with this guy? Is he an ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend? Has there been problems in the past with this guy? Why do you know his name? She could have got a lot more information, and I don't know if she got frustrated or just went, this guy ain't giving me much, I'm done. But anytime you can get somebody on the phone and get more information, she should have kept asking him questions till he hung up or until the officer got there. Because that makes, as an investigator, as an officer, it makes my job easier. Because when I pull the 911 tape, if he lies or if he changes his story, I have that. And I may have information that she asked and he told her that he didn't tell me, and then I can follow up. So I think she could have asked more about this guy. What's the contact? Why was he there? How do you know his name? Is he an ex-boyfriend? Do you know where he lives? Are y'all friends, ex-friends, ex-boyfriend, girlfriend? What's going on? Why did this happen? And she didn't go there, which is okay.
Okay, I will go ahead and let them know, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Man, long pause. Okay, so they show this guy, what gun? This is the officer. In an officer-involved shooting, we always take an officer on how he looked like normally after the shooting. You notice there's already a black badge, so a cop was killed not too long ago because they usually wear that black band on the badge until the cop's buried. So when a cop is shot, everybody puts a band on. Then when he's buried, it comes off. So within the last week or so, an officer's been shot, which kind of changes how cops interact with people when there's an officer-involved shooting. This guy was very passive and did a lot of good things. Took his time, did some things not so good. So we'll talk about that. But after you're involved in a use of force, if your agency doesn't take a picture of you, have somebody grab your phone and snap a picture of you. You want to see that you're disheveled, that you've got mud on your pants, if you have blood on you, if your pants are torn. You want to show if you're bleeding. Don't wipe yourself and clean yourself off. Get a picture on what you look like immediately after the fight. I mean, I don't want a picture of me after a fight, you know, when my head's bleeding or I'm scraped or I got a scratch on my neck or I got his blood on my hands, and then I go get cleaned up and then they take a picture of me. I want the jury to be able to see what I look like after this fight because it paints a better picture that I was in a fight for my life. This is what I look like after I got finished dealing with this dude. I don't want a nice, clean, tuck my shirt in. A lot of cops will start straightening themselves up, correcting their, make sure their gun's in the right position, pull their pants up. They want to stand tall and look. That's all great if you're taking a picture for freaking your obituary, but for the court to see what you look like after a fight, don't clean up. Don't correct yourself. All right, so I digressed on a little thing right there. He's carrying an AR, and let's see. What else do they do? I think they went in a suspect here. Here's suspect 6'4", 200 pounds. That's a big dude. I'm not saying I couldn't take him down. I'm saying he's a big dude. Crimes: attempted murder of a peace officer, felon in possession of a firearm. Gee, that's a shocker. But Rick, I thought that's why we had backgrounds. I thought that's why we had signs that said no guns. Yeah, that's because you're an idiot. I forgot. Well, I didn't get to finish reading the other stuff. What the other stuff? Resisting an officer, resisting obstructing an officer. Okay. Here was his great gun. Man, that's a nice gun. Wonder what he paid for that. 6 rounds, 5 snake shot. That's not a good defensive round. Snake shot is like a little small mini shotgun shell, and it's for when you shoot it, these little BBs come out, and it's a pattern. So if you're shooting at a snake, so he had 1 hollow point and 5 snake shot. That's probably why the cop lived. I don't know if he hit the cop at all, but if you're shooting at me, I want you to have snake shot. For all you criminals out there, dude, that snake shot's good ammo. That's cop killer ammo. You need to carry snake shot because that's going to stop anybody. That's because you're a freaking idiot. All right, anyway, look at that gun. Dude, have you ever heard of oil? Get a little rim oil, man. Jesus Christ. Stick your finger in your engine and take a little engine oil and wipe that thing down. That gun looks like crap. Rick, why are you giving criminal? I'm not giving them. Shut up and pay attention. All right. Shell, this kind of shows the path of the running. This shows the gun was loaded. If that's the gun that was loaded, oh, it looks like all the primers were hit. See the little indentations? That's where the hammer hit the primer, which means all these bullets are fired. So the guy emptied his gun. I think I see a primer hit on each one of these. All right. So they go through, and again, Napa did a pretty good job on this. If you watch this kind of gives a good running scenario of how this thing happened. And when they go into his pursuit here, it's pretty interesting. Let me get to that, where it goes. Initial call.
Hey man, what's your name? Keep your hands up. Hey, keep your hands up. Come here.
Okay, hey man, what's your name? Come here. You're going to guy with a gun call. My first contact is he's at gunpoint. Keep your hands where I can see you. We had a call that you may have a gun. If you reach for anything, I'm going to shoot you. I would have been a little bit more served. Now, you got to remember, this is Napa police. And I've worked in Napa. And Napa is wine country. They have a lot of people with money. So they tend to be a little bit more passive. They don't have really what I call ghetto bad areas to where they're dealing with hardcore crime a lot. And so when you go in these cities that are more affluent or rich, to where they don't deal with crime on a daily basis, they tend to treat people too nice. Rick, cops are over abusive and they're really mean, and how can you say? I'm just telling you, that's the mindset in some of these agencies that deal with decent people all the time. The flip side is if you work in the ghettos and you're always dealing with jerks, you tend to treat good people like jerks when you shouldn't. So it's hard to switch back and forth, and because these cops, it isn't routine for them. If I go to a gun call with a guy with a gun, he's at gunpoint. I don't give a shit whether it's fake or whatever. My gun's out. It's pointed at him. I do not want to be behind a power curve if this goes to shit. And this guy, he does have his long gun with him. So he's carrying a long gun.
Stop. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, bro? Put your hands up.
He's way too close to this dude going hands on for a dude with a gun. In my book. Now, somebody else may go, well, Rick, not everybody's a pussy like you. Well, whatever. I'm just telling you. I'm not getting that close till I search this dude till he's on the ground. He's a no person. He's on the ground. He's already ran. He's acting like, what's up? Fuck you. He is a no person. He belongs on the ground. I think the officer is fully capable of butt stroking him right now and taking him to the ground. You don't turn around on me when I'm on a gun call and I've already ordered you to the ground. I've got a gun, and you're going to turn around and go, what's up, dude, and challenge me? You see this aggressive forward stance? This dude needs to be on the ground 10 seconds ago, and he needs to be on the ground hard and probably breathing or out of breath when he hits the ground. But this cop is being really nice and trying to have a conversation with him, and he's lucky he wasn't shot earlier.
Why, dude? Put your hands up. Someone said you have a gun. Put your hand up.
He said no one said you have a gun. I thought he just said you had a gun. Or did he tell him that I couldn't understand what he said. I'm going to go back.
Stop! What are you talking about? What are you talking about, bro? Put your hands up. Why, dude? Put your hands up. Someone said you have a gun.
Someone said you had a gun. Okay.
Put your hand up. Put your hands up.
Finger's not on the trigger. Did you see that? So I don't know if his gun's on safe, and I don't know if he's holding a pistol grip or where is that. His finger's not on the trigger. Is that good or bad? Well, it's good if he's fighting with a dude because he don't want to accidentally pull it. If his gun's on safe, he still has 2 or 3 things to do if this guy pulls a gun. He's got to get his gun up on target, he's got to get his gun on fire, and he's got to get his finger on the trigger. Man, he is close. I'm telling you, this is too... You do not want to go hands-on with a guy with a gun because your gun's out. I'm not sure having a long gun is a disadvantage, especially if you're going hands-on. A long gun is more for distance. This long gun gets in the way if you have to go hands-on. So he pulled a long gun. He ought to be keeping long distance. In my book, my opinion.
Shit at me, dude. Put your hands up.
Guy's bending down. His hands aren't sealed. That barrel would be pointing at him, and my gun would be on fire, and my finger would not be on the trigger, but it would be ready to jump to that trigger. Man, this guy is a absolute no person. Somebody would say, well, Ricky's a maybe person. He's not really saying no. He's confused, and he's asking questions, and he's trying to clarify. Yeah, that's because you're a freaking idiot, and you would be shot in 2 seconds if you worked the streets.
Put your hands up.
Okay, so now he's got his light on his gun, and his gun's pointed at him. Good for him.
Show me your hands. Don't reach into your pockets. Show me your hands. Turn around. Get on the ground.
So far, I haven't heard any radio updates. Should dispatch know that this is uncooperative, he's fighting with me, he's assaulted me, that would get officers responding quicker and coming to you. I didn't hear him put out anything when he stopped a guy. I'm making contact with a male, blue jeans, gave a good description, shoes. He's walking so-and-so. I didn't hear any of that. Maybe he did it, but I didn't hear it.
Get on the ground now. Get.
You see how this guy's talking smack, and he's still... Who's controlling this scene? The bad guy is. This guy's controlling it. He's dictating where he goes, where he walks, where he's leading the officer. He is a non-compliant person. Now, you know what? I don't have a problem with the cop staying at a distance at gunpoint and ordering him. That's probably a good thing. Because his hands are up and he's ordering him, I would probably be putting out on the radio a little bit more information. But so far, I'm okay with what the guy's going.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Napa, start units, code 3.
Finally, he gets on a radio and upgrades his cover. He doesn't tell why. He doesn't say the guy assaulted me, I'm on hands-on, the guy's failing to comply. He doesn't give any of that. He just gets out, start units code 3. That's better than nothing. I mean, that tells all the other cops something's going on. We need to get there. So cops should be rolling pretty hot right now. You got a gun call and you got an officer asking for code 3 cover. Units should be rolling hot.
Hey, put your hands up. Show me.
Okay, this guy's running and he hears sirens in the background. Guess what? He knows his odds are about to go down. He knows there's cover. He leads this guy on a long chase through woods and dark. This cop is freaking lucky that this guy did not have good ammo and did not take him out several times. Am I saying the guy shouldn't have chased him? I don't know. This cop, I mean, he's on him. He's not going to lose him. He's in a chase. He's got a long gun. He's got the advantage. He's got a vest. He does stay in the fight. But man, this guy is absolutely in control and is leading him. If this guy was more tactically trained, he would have took this officer out. I mean, there's bushes, there's trees. He's running around. He goes hands on him again. He hides and ducks behind a bush, and the cop comes up and puts hands on him again. And the guy could have shot him. I mean, this cop's lucky. Okay, did you hear the cop say, "Show me your fucking hands"? Technically, most policy says you will not talk to citizens using any foul language. So this guy just violated policy. And I'm always talking about when policy is written to where cops violate it every day. The only difference is administration gets to pick when and who and how they choose to enforce it, and who they go after and who they don't. So I guarantee you, Napa, believe me, I know Napa, they have a policy: you will not cuss or use profanity toward any citizen. And I guarantee you this is a violation of policy. Will they enforce it? Of course not. He's in a gunfight. He's talking to a guy. He's excited. They're not going to charge him with that. If he said fuck to another citizen, like shut the fuck up, they absolutely would charge him. That's the problem with policy, is they get to pick and choose and cherry pick. And then if they don't like the officer, they can go after him. And if they like the officer, they won't go after him. I'm not saying this guy should be charged. I'm just digressing into other things that pop into my head about policy and police work that people on the outside don't understand. So now they go through and kind of show a little footpath. Like I said, they do a pretty good job. So the guy tells him to fuck off. He's in the bushes. He's at a distance. The cop stops. He gets a little bit of cover. I know people are going to say this ain't cover. It's not concealment. But you know what? If a bullet hits this, it's going to help slow it down, ricochet. It's something. He's behind something rather than in the open. A lot of people, you know, these tacticians, these tactical cool people want to get out here and, oh, well, it's not cover, and cover actually protects you from the round, and concealment only hides you, and they want to get all into the... Yeah, it's great that you know all that, but the concept of being behind something that can slow down, deflect, or help you survive a critical incident is good. Even if you don't use the right term, but, you know, I got all these little Nazi term people out here that want to show how smart they are.
Going eastbound through the apartment complex.
That's a pretty broad location. Eastbound through the apartment complex. So officers responding hear that. What do? We need to get on the east side of the complex because that's where he's going to come out of. So they're not... Good officers aren't going to where he was at. Inexperienced quota hire officers are going to his car right now. Even though he's running away from his car and they have no chance of helping him, you're going to have quota hire showing up to his car. And they'll be like, I'm at the car, the officer's not here. Well, no shit. He said he's running eastbound through the complex. You ought to be east of the freaking complex to help him when he comes out, starting to set up a perimeter. Rick, why are you picking? Be quiet and watch the video.
White male. Black hat, plaid sweatshirt.
So what's happening, and I've done this many times, is when you're running, you kind of have time. It's kind of like lag time to think a little bit. So you're like, shit, all I'm doing is chasing this dude. What else can I do? Oh, shit, let me update my location. Let me update it. Make sure I get his description out. Let me talk on the radio so it keeps me breathing. Let me know where they're at so they know I'm still chasing him. Sometimes dispatchers will be a pain in the ass and will be status update. Where are you? Where are you? You know, and it's like, shit, I can't do anything because I'm answering you every 5 seconds because you're bugging me. So officers that kind of forget and they don't give it, it's good when dispatch prods them. Officers who are running and done this for a while and dispatch is quiet, it's a good time to go ahead and get things off your checklist. Update on location, update on description. Did you see a gun? Is there shots fired? Are you hurt? What's your reaction? Things like that. Is he on safe right now or is he on fire? A lot of people are going to say he should be on safe. A lot of people will say, well, maybe not a lot, a few will say he should be on fire. I'm not sure where I would be on this. I'm leaning toward I'd be on fire. I don't like safeties. I don't like having a gun on safety, and I don't like having to take my gun off safety when I need to shoot it. Is it unsafe to have it on safe? I don't really care. I don't want to have to be dealing with a safety if this guy pops up with a gun. He's already got a gun. He's a no person. I'm chasing him through a dark area. That's one less step I got to do. I'm leaning toward my gun would probably be on fire, and I know I'm going to have all the safety sallies here. Oh my God! You should never take it off fire until you're ready to shut up, you freaking dummies.
Cutting towards the river trail. Show me your hands!
Okay, again, he's taking up a supported position using what cover is available. This pipe may not stop the bullet. It could deflect it. It's something. Something is better than nothing, and this cop is using this to hide behind. He's thinking, I got to put something between me and a bad guy versus air and standing out in the open. Plus, he's running. He's out of breath. This is going to afford him the opportunity, and you can't see it, but I'm assuming he's using a supported barricade position. He's leaning on this, catching his breath, and is stabilizing his gun and his light. If he wasn't using this, his light would probably be going up and down because he's breathing. He's chasing this guy. He didn't chase him far, and somebody's going to go, well, he's in shape. He shouldn't be out of shape. This really isn't a bad chase. Look, when you're in fight or flight, your breath goes up anyway. Now you're running. Now you're talking on a radio. Now you're yelling directions at the guy. All these things changes, and your heart rate goes higher no matter how good of shape you're in, and you're going to get some breathing movement where your chest and you're sucking oxygen.
Show me your hands.
See the light moving up and down? Walking, breathing. Now we're running again. Most people who are giving this guy things have never chased a guy with a long gun or with a pistol. So they don't understand all the complexities and the things that happen and the things you have to deal with and the things you're dealing with. They just want to sit back and go, well, I read a book and I watched a lot of videos and I've watched a whole bunch of videos and in all my videos it says you should do this. So this must be, well, that's because you're an idiot. So now we go up to a little foot chase. This is a long foot chase. A lot of places to hide, a lot of places to cover. He's changing directions. He's going east, west, south. He's going...
Keep your hands up. Keep them up where I can see them. For real.
Okay. He gets a little close. Again, he's moving in on this guy. He's keeping him lit up. He's ordering him. Who's controlling this scene? Who thinks the cop's in control? He's ordering. He's yelling. He's got a gun. It sounds like he's in control. The suspect is controlling and dictating this scene. He's dictating where it goes, what happens next. He's non-compliant. Man, this cop shows a lot of restraint in my book.
Keep him up where I can see him. Turn around.
Now the guy's walking towards you. When a dude walks toward me and I got a gun, that's a bad thing. I would have put that out, and I've put that out before on one of my cop stories. I had a guy, and I was talking because I thought I was going to have to shoot him. He's a big dude, and we chased a long way and went through a lot of fences. And I think he tossed a gun. We never found a gun. I think he tossed some dope too. But he turned around and goes, "What are you going to do? We're out here." He got me way in the middle of nowhere. I didn't know where the hell I was at, and he started walking to me, and I started walking backwards, and I had him at gunpoint, and I put on the radio. He's walking to me. If he grips close on me, I'm taking him down. I mean, if he would have grabbed me, it would have been shoot. But you know what? He'd come at me, and then he'd turn around and run away. And that's kind of what this guy's doing. And this is critical when you've got a guy at gunpoint. I mean, in your mind, you're like, dude, are you trying to force me to shoot you? Do you want me to shoot you? Are you trying to commit suicide? I've got a gun at you. I've chased you. I told you. And now you're going to try and walk to me? Other cops would be like, you know what? I'd let him get close enough to where he put his fingerprints on my gun, and then I'd light him up. Well, yeah, that sounds great, but morally, I just didn't want to shoot anybody. I didn't want to deal with the fallout and the bullshit, and I mean, that wasn't my goal, and that's not most cops' goal. Although cops will talk like they're tough, but, you know, that's the ones that never done anything. Fuck you. Fuck you. Okay. So then he starts running again. Trees, bushes, long distance.
Then keep your hands up.
And this guy's doing a perfect bait and switch. You want to talk about good tactics? If you can ever get somebody to follow you in an area, this is how you set up ambushes. You go in, you act non-compliant, you run, and when the cops chase you, and again, this happened in Vallejo. They had a policy you couldn't chase people for a while in houses because they would get cops. They'd run up to the car, throw a rock at your car. As soon as you got out of the car and chased them, they'd run in the house. The cop walked in the house. There was 4 dudes with bats and 2x4s, and they beat the shit out of them. And it wasn't their house. It was some vacant house. They knew, and they were like, hey, man, let's set this cop up and beat the hell out of him. Okay. So we went out there, got the cop chasing and beat him. So then they had to put out a policy. Look, they're setting us up. After it happened a few times, they were like, stop chasing people in the houses. Wait, if they run in, just wait, set up perimeter, stop following them in because they're setting you up and they're going to run into an ambush. So this happens in the ghettos. This is good tactics, and this guy is doing this maneuver. Stopping and facing him, challenging him. Man, this is serious. This really has impact maybe not to somebody watching it, but when your mindset is, I've got a gun, I've already told you I'm shooting, I'm chasing him, he knows I'm a cop, and I think he has a gun, and now he's turning around and facing me, telling me to fuck off and coming at me. Dude, this guy at any point in time could pull this gun, and he hasn't. Why? Because he gets to choose. Because they get to act, and cops have to react. And reaction is always slower than action, and that's why cops miss, shoot multiple rounds, and are always behind a power curve.
Are you fucking serious? We're on the trail. Went uncooperative. Headed east.
Got calm, put out. Heading east, they're not heading east on the same path from the car. But see, when you're running and chasing somebody in trees and bushes and around buildings, you don't remember. You don't have a nice little map with arrows in your head. You get turned around because you're focusing on him, his hands, cover, where you're moving next, where we're going. So you're trying to pick up things, clues, addresses, cars, street corners. And when you're in the bushes like this in the middle and you turn around, it's hard to give your location. This is how, and believe me, I've been there. You know, and I tell that story where I had to talk Chopper in. I'm like, I hear you keep coming away you're at. I don't know where the hell I'm at. I'm in the middle of a bunch of houses. So, you know, being lost like this is kind of tough. He keeps saying I'm heading eastbound, but he's not heading eastbound like a crow flies from his car. So they really don't know where he's at, which increases the severity and the danger in this call.
About to pop out in the apartment complex.
Okay, that's cool that he gave a good, that everybody knows. The apartment complex. Everybody that works that area knows what he's talking about, where he's running in the area. So that's good that he gave a good common location. A lot of time here. He's not on the radio and he's not talking to suspect. Ricky's trying to catch his breath. Maybe. But there's time here to where he's not talking to suspect and he's not talking his breath. Or not talking on the radio. So now he runs some more. Again, if you're trying to give out your location, I mean, how do you say eastbound? Oh, wait a minute, we're going we're going southbound. Oh, wait a minute, we're going southeast. Oh, wait a minute, we're back to going southbound. Oh, now we're eastbound. We're about to park out in the complex. Is this the complex he's talking about? So these are things that increase the danger. These are things on why they say when cops use force, you have to put yourself in the cop's mind. This cop knows that nobody's coming and he doesn't have backup and he can't give a location. He is on his own. And when you're on your own, you're allowed to use more force. You're already dealing with a no person. He's got a gun. He's uncooperative. He's already pushed you. You've already been physically confronted with this guy. And now you're out here with a long gun by yourself in an area you don't know at night and you can't see. Man, this is the perfect scenario for how force is justified.
Go. Do you have a gun or not?
Wow, way too close. You have chased this guy all this way. You're still asking him, do you have a gun? He's already told you no. He's already put hands on you. You're in a position where you don't have cover. If you get shot, you're going to bleed out. You are trying to confront this guy alone without backup where they don't know where you're at. Bad moves. Did he have options? Yeah, he could have stayed back and held him at gunpoint. I'm going to make you come to me to force this confrontation. I am not going to go to you when I'm outnumbered, outgunned, tired, in the dark, not knowing my location. This is what I call a rookie move. He should not have done this. He's done a lot of things right. Do not walk up on a person by yourself when all the odds are against you.
No, dude. Then put your hands up. Just put them up.
Man, if this guy wanted him and had good rounds, he would be dead. See how close he is? He can't keep his gun on him. His gun's on probably safe. His finger's not on the trigger. He's using interaction where he's trying to grab the guy with his other hand. He's only got one hand on his gun. Man, just too much going on to try and deal with this guy who's got a gun. He's lucky he is not dead. A more tactically guy, more well prepared, better ammo, this cop, this government employee is done.
Who the fuck told you what, dude? Put him right behind your back. Right here. Keep your hands up. Are you for real, bro?
You're going to put handcuffs on a guy in the dark in a location you don't know where you're at after you're tired, chase a guy, and the guy's got a gun, and you're trying to handcuff him with a long gun. Man, I don't know if it's just me. Maybe I'm being too critical. This is bad, bad mistake after mistake.
Oh, you're a stupid fuck, dude. Why are you gonna do that? Stop! Alright. Well, why the fuck? Stop! Shut your fucking mouth.
Dude, this guy is... What would be the hurt in staying at a distance at gunpoint until a chopper, until they had units, until he went to a place where you knew? Why not keep distance and make him come to you? There'll be a defense attorney arguing this in court. Officer, why did you escalate this? You already knew my client didn't understand you. He was under the influence of drugs. It wasn't his fault. He felt like you were attacking him. He was confused. He had mental issues. And you forced this confrontation by going up to him and trying to manhandle him when you didn't have any backup in the dark. The guy was scared and you were alone. Why did you do that, officer? You wanted to shoot him, didn't you? You could have waited. You could have stayed back. You've already waited 10 minutes, 20 minutes while you're chasing him. What was the urgency for you to go put hands on my client to where you had to shoot him and force him into using his gun? Why? You didn't like him because of his name was Hispanic. You're a racist. Those are the arguments that the jury will be like, well, gee, wonder why the cop didn't wait. I mean, he could have waited. Why did the cop go up on him? I mean, it's just, it not only is it bad officer safety, it's bad legal safety. It just doesn't play well.
Keep your hands up. You bitch. You don't want to suffer, homie. Then put your hand behind your back. Shut your fucking mouth. Let me go. Put your hand behind your back. Now.
He hasn't been on the radio. They don't know he's going hands-on. They don't know where he's at. There's radio silence. I don't know if anybody's asking for his update. I don't hear sirens anymore. Where the hell is his backup? What? I mean, why are you going hands-on by yourself when you got a long gun and you've got the advantage to stay back? Keep distance. Distance is your friend. It gives you reaction time. It makes the bad guy force the confrontation in the deadly situation. What is the urgency to handcuff this guy 20 minutes into pursuit when you're tired, dark, and on your own? You just can't rationalize that. It's not thinking clearly. It's a rookie move.
Now. All right? What? Just gonna detain you. For what? Gonna detain you for lying. You mother.
Okay, so the cop's pissed now because he shot at him. Now, he says you motherfucker. Again, he violated policy, calling a citizen a curse word. Probably won't get prosecuted for that policy, but I digress. So, now there's a shooting because you wanted to go hands-on, where if you just followed him, maybe there wouldn't have been a shooting, dude. I'm not saying this cop forced the shooting. I'm not saying the cop's wrong. I'm saying he made some tactical decisions and errors that could have maybe, he's lucky he's alive, it could have resulted in his death, and he didn't have to. There was no urgency to get this guy in handcuffs by yourself at night when nobody knows where the hell you're at. Think, you young officers out there need to freaking use your head and not get caught up in the chase and the pursuit. And I've done it. I've been there. I've made these mistakes, and I was lucky like this guy and I didn't get killed. But I'm telling you, experience is the best teacher. So don't do this. Guy's still fighting. Now, we don't know why he fired those other shots. We heard the guy say, fuck you, dude. Was he reaching for the gun? Did he reach for the officer's gun? Does he have one handcuff on his hand that is now a weapon and he swung at the officer with the handcuff? Were those 5 shots authorized? I don't know. I mean, he already shot him a bunch of times with a long gun. Why couldn't he back away? Why is he still trying to fight with the guy and force, this is a defense attorney, why is this officer, after he shot my client several times, now he still wants to go back and hands on after my client's hurting and mess with the handcuffs, so now he has to shoot him again, or he just wanted to shoot him again, he needed an excuse, and that's why he went back. Why didn't the officer use proper officer safety and just stand back and hold my client at gunpoint? My client wasn't a threat. He had already been shot with the long gun. Why didn't he wait for backup? Why? We don't know, because the officer was in the dark and he planned this. And the officer made this happen. And it was the officer that created this situation. That's why my client's dead. You don't want to give that. I mean, they can say it and you can't worry about what they say. But this cop could have done a lot of things better. All right, we'll end that there. This went long, I know. But a lot of lessons in here. Hopefully you got something out of it. All right, we'll end that there.